The Trump campaign is in a state of complete disarray after Donald Trump's visit to Washington, D.C., where he addressed House Republicans at the Capitol Hill Club. During his speech, he described Milwaukee as a terrible city. To reiterate, Donald Trump called Milwaukee a terrible city, which is significant as it will host the Republican National Convention next month. Trump seized the moment in front of House Republicans to malign and criticize Milwaukee. Now, the Republicans are scrambling to cover for Trump. Wisconsin Republican Congress members are offering various explanations for Trump's derogatory remarks about Milwaukee. For instance, Lawrence Andrea reports that Wisconsin Representative Glenn Grothman claimed Trump was discussing the election when he made those comments. Grothman stated that Trump was, quote, worried about the election in Milwaukee and believed we need to improve urban centers nationwide. Hence, Trump labeled Milwaukee a terrible city. Meanwhile, MAGA Republican Derek Van Orden criticized what he saw as poor reporting by a Democratic Party sympathizer masquerading as a journalist. Lies by omission, he called them. Van Orden insisted Trump was referring specifically to Milwaukee's crime and crime rate. Simultaneously, Brian Steele noted, I was present. President Trump, though he's not the president, Donald Trump, did not make that statement. There's no better place than Wisconsin in July. This cursing theme persists as MAGA Republicans frequently use profanity, leading chants at church services and political rallies. It's all about cursing now. Stephen Chung, Trump's campaign spokesperson, responded to Jake Sherman's well-documented report, affirming that Trump indeed made the statement. Stephen Chung, Trump's propagandist and spokesperson, retorted, wrong, total nonsense. He never said it in the falsely portrayed manner. He was discussing the severe crime and voter fraud issues. So that's the Trump campaign's stance. Meanwhile, Milwaukee Mayor Johnson has reacted to Trump's derogatory comments about Milwaukee.
Well, Donald Trump wants to talk about things that he thinks are horrible. All of us lived through his presidency, so right back at you, buddy. I'd say that. Look, obviously Donald Trump is wrong about something yet again. I find it kind of perplexing. I find it kind of strange that he would insult the largest city in Wisconsin because he's running for president. He obviously wants to win Wisconsin, win the election. And so to insult the state that's hosting your convention, I think is kind of bizarre, actually. It's kind of unhinged in a way, especially considering the fact that in Milwaukee, there are about 50,000 Republicans who live right here in the city. So you're calling their home horrible. I mean, I don't quite understand that.
Let's examine the front page of Milwaukee's largest newspaper, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, which also runs Wisconsin's top digital news site. The main headline reads, Trump calls Milwaukee a horrible city. This comes just weeks before the Republican National Convention is set to take place in the city. In response, President Biden posted a photo on social media expressing his affection for Milwaukee, featuring him with the Milwaukee Bucks when they visited the White House after winning the NBA Finals. Numerous reactions have poured in regarding Donald Trump's comments and his criticism of Milwaukee. Democratic Congresswoman Tammy Baldwin, who represents Wisconsin, praised Milwaukee and highlighted its many attractions, while also condemning Trump's harsh remarks. She emphasized her disagreement with Trump's negative portrayal of the city. Additionally, Donald Trump later addressed Republican senators in what was described as a rambling and peculiar speech. Let's listen to a clip of Trump's speech.
We have to get elected. We have to take this beautiful place and we have to make it really something very special. Again, right now it's not special. Right now it's being scorned and being used as an example of when they look at the crime on the streets, when they look at all of the problems that we have, they're using us as a bad example of democracy. And they're getting away with murder, and we're not going to let it happen. So I just want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank everybody here. You're all either elected or you're going to be elected again and reelected. And
Adam Reif also reports that the GOP seems to be in a rush to spin the situation. A convention spokesperson now claims that Trump was referring to the ongoing political games being played by the city and county with Pierre Marquette Park. Despite concerns being raised months ago, the city still has not designated a First Amendment zone. Now, MAGA Republicans are framing this as an issue related to the First Amendment zone. Despite Trump's clear statement, the campaign is in full cover-up mode. This appears to be a significant setback for Trump and his campaign, showing a level of panic that hasn't been seen for quite some time. Additionally, a photo has surfaced from Donald Trump's visit with Republican senators. It shows him shaking hands with Mitch McConnell as captured by the Patriot. This behind-the-scenes picture depicts Trump interacting with McConnell when MAGA supporters aren't around. Meanwhile, MAGA Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, praised the meeting with Trump, stating that Trump was very cordial to them.
The president gave his endorsement to this leadership team, and does he want you to continue to be the speaker after the November election?
He said very complimentary things about all of us. We had sustained applause. He said, I'm doing a very good job. I mean, we're grateful for that. Look, we have to have continuity in leadership. We have to have a plan, and it has to be very carefully executed.
I want to share some additional statistics about Milwaukee, especially given the false claims being made by MAGA Republicans. Homicides in Milwaukee have decreased by nearly 50% compared to 2 years ago. It's important to note that crime rates were at a record high during Trump's presidency. But crime has actually declined in Milwaukee since then. Now, let's discuss the latest updates on Trump's campaign spin. More excuses are emerging from various MAGA Republicans attempting to cover for Donald Trump.
The Democratic National Committee is following convicted felon Donald Trump with a mobile billboard showing footage from January 6th as he travels to meetings with House and Senate Republicans in D.C.
Additionally, the Biden-Harris campaign has posted a message highlighting Trump's direct quote, "Milwaukee, where we are having our convention, is a horrible city." During his speech to House Republicans, Trump made several bizarre comments. He praised Hannibal Lecter, calling him a great person, and claimed that Nancy Pelosi's daughter wanted him to have a relationship with Nancy Pelosi, citing their similar ages and saying things just didn't work out. In response, Nancy Pelosi's daughter labeled Trump as an unhinged maniac, obsessed with her mother, and behaving very strangely. This situation reminds me of an article by the LA Times which questions why Trump calls American cities disgusting and embarrassing if he claims to love America. Windsor Man summarized Trump's comments, noting that Trump has disparaged New York, California, Chicago, Baltimore, and now Milwaukee, calling them disgraceful, embarrassing, or infested with problems. We will keep you updated as more information becomes available. Panic is clearly setting in within the Trump campaign. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day.